Hey guys, I wanted to take just a few minutes today to talk about addiction and habits. Whether it's addiction or habitual responses to food or alcohol or prescription drugs, scrolling on a phone, all kinds of things that we tend to get habitually attached or addicted to. And one of the questions I hear the most from people is, can you just tell me how to stop? Or how to have a different relationship to it so that I can stop, or how to be present to it so that I can stop. And the amazing thing is that all of these beautiful, wonderful, perfect humans, they all have their own best interest in mind at heart. They don't want to hurt their health. They want to be healthy and vibrant. They want to be contributing to the world. They want to do all the things that their heart desires, their heart's desire. It's all so well-meaning, this attempt to get out of a habit, out of an addiction. And it's all we've ever been taught as a culture, as a society. And I think most of us have seen pretty clearly that all these attempts to get through it, these attempts to go around it, these attempts to solve, they don't work, at least not sustainably. They may work for short bursts of time. But how is it that we get sustainable change, lasting change, when we know that the best thing for us is to stop? Whether it's the binge eating, the binge drinking, the binge scrolling in bed at night with Facebook and TikTok, whatever the thing is, we know instinctively, intellectually, these things are not helping our lives. They're not helping our bodies. They're not helping our sleep. So what do we do? What do we do instead of trying to get around them, instead of trying to get through them? And it's so interesting to see how the ego, which I also call the pain body and the ego are kind of interchangeable to me. The ego pain body is so good, so sneaky at playing spirituality that it uses the things we know, like my heart's desire, my inner guidance, my inner knowing. An ego pain body is a master at using those phrases to actually keep you in a habit, keep you in an addiction. It's my heart's desire to have this experience. It's my heart's desire to have this location, this intervention. But that's ego. Because truth, presence, that witnessing space knows that right here, right now, is the space of healing. The experience that arising right now, even if that experience feels destabilizing, uncomfortable, even awful, that experience, when understood, is part of the highest healing. I had an amazing man yesterday share something with us in office hours, and it made such an impact on me. He shared something he wrote about his lifelong addiction to alcohol and something he's trying different now. Because like most people, he's done all the programs, everything out there on offer. He's tried it, and he's gone, in his words, 23 years alcohol free, just not 23 consecutive years. And this is what he wrote. And I think it speaks so clearly to what I'm pointing to here about how ego, pain body, is so good about getting involved here. But it's only when we come back to truth, to presence, to awareness, that real, honest, lasting, sustainable change can happen. And here's what he wrote. He starts with a quote from author D. Meyer. An odd thing, accepting oneself before change. I have to contemplate that, accepting where I'm at, who I'm with, what I do, and my thoughts around it all. Accept myself as I am, without labels, without blame, without self-persecution, without the daydreams of someday when I walk on water, I'll be okay. Accept the is as it is, without prejudice. And only then is change possible. And then he goes on to add, so very interesting. There are so many areas in my life I want to change. Sometimes I'm successful, many times not. Take my drinking. My experience with alcohol is that it's detrimental to my health. It skews my thinking, my perception of life, and drives me to destructive behaviors. I know this, but for all of the years I've lived alcohol-free, 23, not consecutive, there comes the day when I drink again. Knowing is not enough. This is key. I want to say this again. Knowing is not enough. Consciously, intellectually, knowing, even with the strongest conviction that what you're doing is detrimental, is not enough. It's not enough to keep me stopped. Beyond the drink, there is pain, a hurt, a misunderstanding rooted in my psyche and hidden from my awareness that once triggered resorts to the only solution ever known: drink until oblivion. I have avoided going down this rabbit hole. There is a sign above it that says, "Do not enter, no trespassing." Yes, I can stop drinking, but staying stopped drinking has been my dilemma. So accept what? What do I accept? Accept that there is a thought, a memory that is so painful, it drives me to drink, to forget, to not feel the pain, even though I know what alcohol does to me. I choose this over feeling this hidden pain. I want to cry. I feel this old hurt as I write. Today, I will spend some time with the old pain. I've been carrying it for a lifetime. I'm doing this not to understand it, but to embrace it, to accept it. As author Dee Meyer says, she has learned to accept so that change can happen. I want the same. Thank you all for hanging in here with me as I stumble along to freedom and joy. There's really not much else I can add to that, except to say how very, very grateful I am to this amazing man for sharing this. If you are struggling with some type of habit or addiction, doesn't matter what it's for or to or about, it's there for a reason. It's there because at some point, probably unconsciously, you discovered that that thing, that substance, that behavior, it helped you not feel a pain that you did not want to feel. And that makes so much sense. There's no blame in that. There's no shame in that. Our culture for generations has taught us to do everything possible to seek pleasure and avoid pain, to do whatever it takes to avoid discomfort. Of course, we resort to these things. There's no shame in that. It is what we were taught. So how do we move through it? First, we move into it. I think it's so amazing how an ego pain body can use the phrase moving through something to actually sneakily mean, how do I get to the other side? How do I get to the upside of it? But the truth is, the actual question for healing is, how do I move further into it? The through part comes on the other side, later, not now. The question that this beautiful man was raising for himself: is how do I move into it? How do I meet it? How do I go toward this thing my mind has called pain for a lifetime so that I can get to know it, embrace it, hold it, allow it to be whatever it wants to be? If you find yourself searching out, how can that person do something? How can that location do something? How can something outside of me change? That's okay. That's human. That's what we're conditioned to do. There's no shame in that. But when the capacity is there and you're ready, turn in and ask the real questions, the healing questions. How might I move toward the pain? How might I go in more deeply? As opposed to, how can I move through it and get to the other side? The treasure is in that space. The portal is actually within that discomfort. It's just we've been misunderstanding it for a lifetime. Every experience, the experience of discomfort, the experience of terror, the experience of pain, those experiences are safe. It is safe to meet them. It is safe to go closer to them until you can truly hold them close. I hope this helps. Please let me know what you hear in this. And if you just would like to ask any further questions about it, I'm always available. You can reach me through YouTube or through my website. Thank you guys. Bye.